Did you know that within hours of escalating tensions in the Middle East, hundreds of U.S. Air Force personnel and their massive C-17 aircraft were put on full combat alert, ready to fly into the heart of danger at a moment's notice? Tehran is literally burning. Missiles have struck Israel, and the world is holding its breath as military machines roar to life. Imagine soldiers sprinting across tarmacs, cargo crates stacked high, armored vehicles lining up, engines igniting, everything moving with clockwork precision, yet with zero certainty of when they'll return home. The stakes, a potential conflict that could reshape global power balances overnight. Today, we're diving deep into the 10 reasons why the U.S. Air Force is revved up like never before, revealing the hidden operations, strategic moves, and jaw-dropping logistics behind this full combat alert. Buckle up. What you're about to see is nothing short of extraordinary. We poured hours into uncovering the truth behind these military maneuvers. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take. Don't forget to subscribe with just one click to stay on top of the world's most explosive stories. The world just witnessed a rapid escalation in the Middle East, massive Iranian missile strikes on Israel. These attacks didn't just make headlines. They triggered an urgent response across every branch of the U.S. military. The Air Force, in particular, moved with lightning speed, putting C-17 crews on full combat alert within hours. But why such an extreme measure? The answer lies in the sheer unpredictability of the situation. Missiles flying across borders are a stark reminder of how quickly tensions can spiral into open conflict. For U.S. military strategists, waiting is not an option. Every second counts. C-17 aircraft, known as the backbone of rapid deployment, were loaded with troops, armored vehicles, and vital equipment, ready to respond at a moment's notice. Imagine soldiers sprinting across tarmacs, forklifts racing to load cargo, and planes lined up, engines humming, all synchronized like a deadly orchestra. The alert wasn't just about being ready. It was a message of deterrence. Iran needed to understand that the U.S. could mobilize a massive, fully equipped force almost instantly, projecting power across continents. The immediate threat posed by these missile strikes meant that the military had to be not just reactive, but proactive. This moment also highlights the precision and speed of modern military logistics. Within hours, personnel were packed, equipment secured, and aircraft prepped for deployment. Every action, every decision was measured against the clock, ensuring that if escalation continued, U.S. forces could respond without hesitation. In short, the immediate threat from Iranian missile strikes forced the U.S. Air Force to show it was ready, capable, and serious. A show of force that left the world watching with bated breath. We worked tirelessly to bring you the full story behind these explosive events. Drop a comment below with your thoughts and let us know what surprised you most. Hit that subscribe button with one click to stay updated on the world's most critical military developments. When the call came in, there was no time to waste. Marines and soldiers were rushed from their barracks straight to the airfield, with buses transporting them under strict urgency. Every step of the operation was a race against the clock. From the moment they arrived, personnel began boarding the C-17 Globemaster III aircraft. Their massive cargo planes designed to carry troops, armored vehicles, and essential supplies thousands of miles in a single flight. This was no routine exercise. Every soldier carried packed rucksacks filled with uniforms, boots, hygiene kits, and personal gear, ready for an indefinite deployment. No one knew how long they'd be away. The tension in the air was palpable, soldiers moving in perfect order, yet with the unspoken weight of uncertainty pressing down on them. Meanwhile, cargo crews worked at full tilt. Forklifts hauled armored vehicles, tactical buggies, and crates of medical supplies, while loadmasters double-checked weight distribution and secure fastening. Precision mattered. Any misstep could jeopardize the mission. It was a logistical ballet where speed and accuracy were equally critical. This rapid deployment capability is the reason why C-17s are considered the backbone of strategic mobility. They allow the U.S. military to respond to global crises in hours rather than days. By having troops and equipment ready to launch almost instantly, the United States sends a clear message of readiness and resolve, a deterrent to any adversary considering aggressive moves. In essence, the speed of this deployment reflects the military's ability to turn threats into action immediately. The sight of C-17s taxiing down runways, fully loaded and engines roaring, embodies the pinnacle of military preparedness: swift, precise, and uncompromising. We've gone behind the scenes to show how rapid deployment works. Tell us in the comments which part shocked you the most. And remember, subscribe with just one click to stay ahead on every major global military alert. The sight on the tarmac was nothing short of extraordinary. C-17 Globemaster III aircraft were being loaded with everything imaginable, from armored vehicles and tactical buggies to crates of ammunition, portable generators, and medical supplies. Every corner of the cargo bay was meticulously organized, with equipment strapped down securely alongside fully armed Marines and soldiers. This wasn't just loading. It was a masterclass in military logistics under pressure. Every piece of gear had its place. Soldiers' personal duffel bags were stacked alongside essential communications gear, survival kits, and tactical equipment. Forklifts and flatbed carts raced across the tarmac, moving cargo with split-second timing. Loadmasters performed final checks, making sure that weight distribution, secure fastenings, and safety protocols were flawless. One small mistake could compromise the aircraft's ability to perform at maximum efficiency. Why so much preparation? Because the military needed to ensure that every unit could operate independently the moment they landed in the Middle East. This full loadout meant that troops would arrive ready for immediate action. Combat vehicles, fueled, ammunition at hand, and essential supplies on standby. The operation scale was staggering. One C-17 alone could carry dozens of personnel and tons of equipment. But the combined loadout across multiple aircraft was enough to mobilize an entire battalion within hours. This is a clear demonstration of why the U.S. Air Force emphasizes preparation, precision, and speed. Full cargo and personnel loadouts aren't just about moving forces. They're about projecting power, ensuring readiness, and signaling to adversaries that the U.S. is prepared for any escalation, anytime, anywhere. We poured hours into capturing the scale of this operation. Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us what amazed you most. Don't forget, subscribe with just one click to never miss a deep dive into the world's most critical military actions. One of the most impressive aspects of this military operation was the seamless coordination across multiple bases. It wasn't just a single airfield buzzing with activity. Several C-17s were simultaneously being loaded at different locations, each fully equipped and ready to join the mission. Imagine a symphony of logistical precision: planes taxiing, forklifts moving cargo, and personnel forming up, all happening in perfect unison. This kind of coordination is far from simple. Each base had its own teams of loadmasters, mechanics, and support staff. Yet every movement was synchronized to ensure that all aircraft would be ready for departure at the same time. The goal? A massive, rapid deployment of troops and equipment that could reach the Middle East within hours. Multi-base coordination also highlights the military's ability to project power globally. By preparing aircraft at multiple locations, the U.S. ensures that no single point of failure can disrupt the mission. Even if one airfield encounters delays, others can continue seamlessly, keeping the operation on schedule. For the soldiers and crews involved, this meant working under immense pressure. Every action mattered, from loading vehicles to securing cargo to final inspections. The efficiency and speed of this process reflect years of training, planning, and experience. In short, multi-base coordination allowed the U.S. Air Force to multiply its impact without putting all its resources in one place. It's a testament to military strategy and precision, showing the world that when the U.S. commits to a mission, every base, every plane, and every person moves as one. We spent hours analyzing this flawless coordination. Comment below with your thoughts on how impressive this operation was, and don't forget, subscribe with just one click to stay ahead of every global military alert. While C-17s were busy transporting troops and cargo, Another crucial operation was happening at nearby airfields. Fighter jets were being prepared for continuous combat missions. Mechanics worked relentlessly, checking every panel, wiring harness, and avionics system. Radar systems were tested, engines inspected, and fuel systems topped off, ensuring each aircraft was in peak condition for the days ahead. Ordnance teams were equally busy. Air-to-air missiles, guided bombs, and other weaponry were carefully mounted on pylons, wired into the aircraft's electronic systems, and visually inspected. Red flags dangled from arming pins, a reminder that these machines, once cleared, were ready to unleash their full potential. Every detail mattered. Even a minor oversight could have catastrophic consequences during high-stakes operations. The scale of this preparation highlights the complexity and precision of modern air warfare. Fighter jets aren't just vehicles. They are highly sophisticated systems that require expert handling and meticulous attention to detail. The U.S. Air Force ensured that every jet was capable of sustained sorties, able to respond to threats without delay, and operate continuously under extreme conditions. This readiness also served a strategic purpose. It was a clear signal to adversaries that the U.S. could maintain a relentless aerial presence if needed, from fueling and arming to final inspections. The operations were a masterclass in coordination, speed, and efficiency. In essence, fighter jet preparation for sustained strikes ensured that the United States could respond decisively and without pause, projecting power and maintaining dominance in a rapidly evolving theater of conflict. We've gone inside the hangars where every jet was ready. Comment below and tell us which part of this preparation amazed you most. Don't forget, subscribe with one click to stay on top of the world's most critical military movements. One of the most unnerving aspects for soldiers during this rapid mobilization was the sheer uncertainty of their deployment. Unlike typical rotations with fixed schedules, these troops were preparing to be stationed in the Middle East for an unknown period of time with no return date on the calendar. The weight of that uncertainty hung heavily over every action and decision. Soldiers meticulously packed their duffel bags and rucksacks with everything they might need. Uniforms, boots, hygiene kits, personal items, knowing that once they left the base, their lives would be consumed entirely by the mission ahead. Every item had to be practical, every piece of gear essential. There was no room for error or last-minute packing. This indefinite deployment required not just physical readiness, but mental resilience. The U.S. military understands that soldiers must be prepared for sustained operations, often in challenging and high-stress environments. Preparing for an undefined timeline ensures troops can adapt to the dynamic and unpredictable nature of modern conflicts. The uncertainty also underscores the gravity of the situation. The decision to deploy forces without a set timeline signals that the U.S. military anticipated potentially prolonged engagement, requiring full operational readiness for days, weeks, or even months. For the world watching, this sends a clear message. The United States is serious, committed, and ready to act decisively. Troops stepping onto the tarmac, fully packed and prepared for an open-ended mission, demonstrate the discipline, professionalism, and unwavering focus required in high-stakes military operations. In short, the indefinite deployment uncertainty wasn't just about logistics. It was about preparing soldiers for every possible scenario while projecting strength and readiness to both allies and adversaries. We dug deep into what it takes to prepare soldiers for the unknown. Comment below and tell us how you think they handled such intense uncertainty. And don't forget, subscribe with one click to follow every update on global military operations. The operation didn't stop when the C-17s touched down in the Middle East. Far from it. The moment the aircraft landed, unloading began immediately. Rafts dropped, soldiers filed out. Armored vehicles were unchained and driven off, and cargo pallets were pulled by forklifts, all moving at a breathtaking pace. Every second counted, and every action was executed with precision. This high-speed turnaround is what makes the U.S. Air Force a global force to be reckoned with. Planes didn't sit idle. Once unloaded, they were prepped to return to the U.S. to pick up additional troops and equipment. Repeating the process multiple times, The goal was clear: maximize the flow of resources and personnel to the region as quickly as possible, ensuring that operational momentum never slowed. The logistics behind this are staggering. Loadmasters, mechanics, and ground crews worked in seamless coordination, ensuring that every vehicle, weapon, and supply crate was accounted for and ready for immediate use. Soldiers knew exactly where to go and what to do, guided by hours of training and disciplined execution. High-speed unloading isn't just about efficiency. It's a demonstration of strategic power projection. By keeping aircraft moving and supplies flowing, the U.S. ensures that forces on the ground are always reinforced and ready for any escalation. It also serves as a deterrent, signaling that any aggressive move against allies or interests can be met instantly. In short, the rapid unloading and turnaround of C-17s exemplify the perfect blend of precision, speed, and planning, showing the world that the U.S. can sustain continuous, high-pressure operations anywhere, anytime. We've captured the incredible speed and coordination of these operations. Drop a comment below if you were impressed by this military precision. And remember, subscribe with one click to stay updated on every major military alert around the world. While troops were on the tarmac and C-17s were shuttling supplies, another critical operation was happening behind the scenes: non-stop maintenance of fighter jets and equipment. Mechanics and ground crews worked tirelessly, ensuring that every aircraft was ready for immediate action, no matter the hour. Fuel trucks were constantly refilling tanks, weapons teams were loading missiles and guided bombs, and avionics specialists meticulously checked every system for errors. Every jet underwent a rigorous inspection. Engines, flight controls, avionics, radar systems, everything was scrutinized panel by panel with no detail overlooked. Ordnance was mounted carefully, arming pins checked and rechecked, and electronic systems verified to ensure weapons were fully functional. The goal was to guarantee continuous operational readiness, even if combat missions were extended over several days. This level of maintenance is not just technical, it's strategic. By keeping aircraft in peak condition at all times, the U.S. Air Force ensures that any threat can be met instantly. Delays in maintenance can mean the difference between success and failure in high-stakes missions. Crews often worked around the clock under extreme heat and pressure, exemplifying the discipline and precision that defines elite military operations. Round-the-clock maintenance also highlights a lesser-known truth. Warfare is as much about preparation as it is about action. The ability to sustain operations depends on meticulous care, constant vigilance, and flawless execution behind the scenes. Every refueled tank, every armed missile, every check system contributed to the broader mission of deterrence, readiness, and rapid response. In essence, continuous maintenance ensures that the U.S. Air Force remains relentless, resilient, and ready to strike at a moment's notice. We've uncovered the tireless work that keeps these jets mission ready. Comment below if you can imagine working under such pressure. And don't forget, subscribe with one click to follow every update on global military operations. Deploying troops and aircraft is only half the story. The other half is where they are positioned. Bases in the Middle East were prepped to receive the influx of U.S. forces, turning these locations into staging hubs for rapid response. Soldiers stepping off the C-17s found themselves in a highly organized environment, where every vehicle, crate, and piece of equipment was strategically placed to maximize operational efficiency. Strategic positioning isn't random, it's calculated. By placing forces close to potential hotspots, the U.S. can respond instantly to threats without waiting for long-distance deployments. C-17s could deliver additional personnel and supplies within hours, while fighter jets were ready to conduct sustained missions with minimal delay. This careful planning ensures that the military maintains both reach and readiness. Projecting power across a volatile region, the speed and efficiency of these operations also signal a powerful message. The United States is prepared for sustained engagement and has already secured the logistics and infrastructure necessary for prolonged operations. Every fuel truck, weapons team, and maintenance crew on site is part of this strategy, keeping the base in a constant state of readiness. For adversaries, this positioning is a clear deterrent. It shows that the U.S. can move resources, personnel, and firepower across vast distances, establishing a strong presence exactly where it's needed most. It's not just about winning battles. It's about controlling the theater of operations, maintaining situational awareness, and being able to act decisively at a moment's notice. In short, strategic positioning in the Middle East amplifies the impact of every deployment, every aircraft, and every soldier, ensuring that the U.S. can sustain operations without pause, hesitation, or compromise. We've explored how strategic positioning strengthens global readiness. Comment below with your thoughts on this impressive military strategy. And remember, subscribe with one click to stay updated on every major military movement worldwide. Beyond logistics, weapons, and aircraft, the U.S. military knows that showing readiness can be as powerful as actual combat. Placing C-17 crews on full combat alert and deploying troops to the Middle East sends a clear psychological message. The United States is watching, prepared, and capable of swift retaliation if needed. This is deterrence at its most visible form. Adversaries are forced to consider the full scope of U.S. capabilities. Troops, cargo, air power, and rapid global mobility, all fully operational within hours. The sheer scale of preparation, from fully loaded C-17s to armed fighter jets and meticulously positioned bases, communicates strength, precision, and resolve without a single shot being fired. The psychological impact isn't just on enemy forces. For U.S. troops and allies, this show of readiness reinforces confidence and morale. Soldiers know they are part of a highly coordinated and well-prepared force, capable of acting decisively in any scenario. Allies see that the U.S. can protect interests and respond quickly, strengthening partnerships and regional stability. Strategic deterrence also extends globally. By demonstrating the ability to mobilize, deploy, and sustain operations at a moment's notice, the U.S. signals to the world that it will not be caught unprepared. Every refueled plane, armed missile, and fully loaded C-17 contributes to a visible posture of unwavering readiness and power projection. In essence, this isn't just about movement or firepower. It's about sending a message that commands respect and caution. Psychological and strategic deterrence ensures that the mere presence of these forces can influence adversaries' decisions and potentially prevent conflict before it even starts. We've unveiled how readiness becomes a powerful message. Share your thoughts in the comments on how deterrence shapes global events. And remember, subscribe with one click to stay updated on every critical military operation worldwide.